Social entrepreneurship is very important because it provides meaning and purpose to a business. In order to continue this business, it is God who empowers me. Hi, I am Mitzi Uy Chan, the founder of Mori Creations. Mori Creations is a social enterprise that provides sustainable livelihood to mothers in the community. We envision that handmade products will be mainstream in the market. Hence, we created Mori Creations as a platform for artists, crafters, and advocates to collaborate together, work together to create quality products. Mori started when I was 23 years old. I left the corporate world because I wanted to discover kung ano ba yung meaning and purpose of my life. So what I did was, every morning after I wake up, I would open my Bible and read one chapter a day. When I was reading the Bible, I also write in journals. And then soon, I started to create my own journals for myself. And then I also realized throughout the years that I need to use my gifts in creativity to help others and to bless others. I realized I can train the women, the mothers, to create these journals as well. Hence, we started with Mori Notes first book. Mori in Hebrew means God teaches. So we started with journals and then we started selling them sa major bookstores within Metro Manila lang. Soon we expanded to other purses like the dual zip purses, the roll-up organizers, the neck pouches. Now we're also shipping to Singapore. Before, we get recycled denims from mga mothers din in the community. We are less into recycled denim na, but in our journals, we use recycled papers. More creation started in my own home. Isip ko lang to test the market with our maid. She enjoyed doing arts and crafts, and I wanted her to have a work that she enjoys doing. I told her how to sew by theory. And then she experimented and started making journals. So I told her, Faye, gawa ka ng 50 pieces lang for this Christmas. And then I will sell them through Facebook. And then you will earn this much. And then when I posted on Facebook, hundreds yung demands for that Christmas. So that's when I realized na pwede pala din siya maging business. Yung burden ko towards the moms, kasi one time we had a maid and then her daughter was really sick. Walang panggamot yung nandun sa probinsya for the daughter. So etong maid namin, iyak lang sa house namin. So parang I felt so bad for her na she is with us and not with her daughter. Some of the mothers, they leave their families, they leave their children behind in order to work. And I want them to be with their children and yet earn a living. So I want them to have a livelihood at their own homes. That's why I wanted to train them to create what I know how to create as well. So before, I trained 3 of them lang and then I trained them in the barangay hall. I always give them materials so that they would try and create it.
Ako si Remy Aranas Condes. Bali, 5 years na ako sa Mori Notes. Before ako napunta sa Mori Notes, dati ko nagagawa ng basahan. Actually, 12 years akong nahinto ng trabaho. May nag-offer ng livelihood sa barangays. Pumunta yung Mori sa hall, nagbigay sila ng pa-livelihood din. Nagpa-try sila sa akin ng product. 2012, nag-start ako sa Mori Notes. Nag-start din, tingin ko naman ang Mori Notes with me naman. Ako, nag-start ako sa course book. Yun ang una nilang pinatry sa akin. Notebook siya na binabind siya ng manual. After ng course book, may dumating yung panibagong product, dual zip. So iba-iba kung ano yung dumarating na may neck pouch. Ngayon, present namin, neck pouch roll up.
Ako po si Lisa Paliso. 4 years na po ako nagtatrabaho dito. Bago ako mapunta dito kay Mori Notes, nagtatahi po ako ng mga guitar bags. Maraming taon nakatulong yun sa akin sa pag-aaral ng mga anak ko. Pero last 2010, nagsara, natigil ako sa pananahi. After nang mawalan ako ng trabaho sa Lumanog, umuwi po kami ng mister ko sa Nueva Ecija. Pero walang nangyari sa amin dun. Ay bumalik kami rito sa Maynila. Hanap ko nga itong Mori Notes. Hindi kami nawawalan ng trabaho. Laging meron. Kaya malaking tulong. Nagkaroon ako ng pantustos sa pang-araw-araw namin. Yung string ng yan. Dito ang handle. Kung gusto nyo dito, kung gusto nyo dito.
I'm very happy that I'm able to help them. But at the same time, I feel that there is much pressure because I want to help more of them and I want it to be sustainable. One of the challenges that I encountered before was not having enough work for the mothers to do. So it was a lot of pressure for me to be able to provide them with sustainable job. And I was very discouraged and I was thinking, what if we just stop? But then it's always about them that I'm continuing with this mission. It's always about being able to help them get out of poverty. That's why I told myself, I need to continue this. This is what God has created me to do. And God will always provide me with wisdom and creativity enough to, go through it. I think there is fulfillment then seeing that the products that were once mere ideas in my head are now in stores. We are also collaborating with other artists. These artists are mostly millennials na women who are also entrepreneurial. These are mga new mothers with young children and we want to provide them sustainable income. Then hence we partner with artists and provide them royalties for the designs that they create. And they are quite happy naman to see that their designs are now in the market. And they are also helping the crafters by providing them work with their quality designs. Currently, this year, we are also trying to train mga mothers with no sewing skills experience. Yung mga pure handmade lang talaga. That's why we are also expanding in events line. So we have created Halloween bags, handmade felt roses. When they're able to see that their products are being enjoyed by other people, I think it gives them fulfillment then in their work. In the future, I see Mori Creations as an ecosystem talaga of the different artists, crafters, and advocates working together. So there will be impact to more crafters, to more women.
Mothers raise children, mothers raise family. When you empower a mother, you're not only empowering her, you empower her children, her family, and you're really empowering a community. When people are given means and opportunity, there's really a light of hope, and it's that hope that when hard work is met with means, access, and opportunity, amazing things begin to happen and dreams start becoming transformed into reality. I'm Gabrielle Cruz and I founded Tejo in 2013. Tejo is a social enterprise where we work with moms from communities around Metro Manila. So it actually started when I entered university. I received the full 5-year merit scholarship. And I promised myself back then that by the time I finished school, I'd find a way to give back somehow. In 2012, when I graduated, I was really looking for work that would first earn me a living. Second could be something I could enjoy and be passionate about. And third would somehow give back to the community. You know, putting up a business is a lot of work and it's very stressful, and I wanted as much as possible, if I'd have to put in all that time and energy, why not bring as many people up with me? And so that's how the idea of the livelihood program really began. Tejo is actually Spanish for I weave, because we began with friendship bracelets, and up to now, a lot of our products are still made by hand. And I weave was supposed to connote that things are handmade, but by using our product as well, you're woven into the story of our livelihood program. And what we saw was that there was a lack of access to livelihood for a lot of the moms, especially the stay-at-home moms. Because of their schedules and their responsibilities towards their children, their homes, it was really difficult to find work that would be flexible to that. With our first group of nanays, we actually approached DSWD, and a lot of them at the time were actually homeless. So after our training sessions, they would actually go home to live under bridges, under flyovers, and they had little to no formal education. And so training was really very difficult and very challenging for them. But there were a few who really persevered in our training, and they knew that they were investing in their future. And we really wanted to bring it home closer to our own community. So we worked with our local barangay, and they really helped us tap mothers who needed the livelihood, who needed the flexible working schedule. More than just financial income, what we're really trying to come in with is helping empower them with that opportunity to be able to make their dreams a reality for their families. When we first began, I think we started with maybe 5 or 7. And then throughout the years, a number of them have stayed with us and continued to produce with us. And then we added some more until maybe now we're about 15. So here on the left, we have Ate Joy. So she's here with her baby. So a lot of times, kasi we're pretty flexible naman with their schedules. So if there's really no one left at home, they bring some of their kids along during our trainings. And then this is Ate Daisy, Ate Rosemary, Ate Dina, Beth, Mary, and Del. So a lot of them have been here since we started. So for example, Ate Dina, Rosemary, and Joy have been here since our very first day. And then the others we met along the way. I know they work with our livelihood program and I'm their boss, but because they're all mothers, it's a very mothering atmosphere where sometimes it's also like they're mothering me. And so I think that really emphasizes it more that we really are a family. And you know, I'm not yet a mother, but I learn a lot from them. I learn a lot from their selflessness. I learn a lot from their drive.
So, gagawa kayo ng 10 orange. Ito, black.
During our first training sessions, it was really very overwhelming for them. They had little to no formal education, and so they had very little confidence in their ability to learn new skills. But this first livelihood partner of ours, her name was Mercy. She had a clear goal, and that was to get through the training process, be able to produce the pieces from home. At that time, she was homeless. Her family, they were living under a flyover, if I'm not mistaken. And they had gotten by on selling garbage. So they would pick through the garbage, they would sell what they could, and that's how they got by. And after a few months of working together in our livelihood program, it was the first time she was able to pay rent for her family. They had a simple home that they were going home to, but that was their first home. I think for the other mothers, other than Nanay Mercy, we could really see that they were able to buy a lot of basic essentials for the home. So beds, tables, chairs. For a number of them, they even became more entrepreneurial themselves. They started buying things from Divisoria, then they would resell it within their community. So what they really started to have was sort of like an investment fund that they could use for their home, for their children, for things for school.
Pero inilagay ko lang yung sobra in case na kailangan gupit din yung
So right now, we have a number of them who make a lot of fashion accessories. Ranges from earrings to necklaces to bags. We also have a number of them who make handmade cards. And as much as possible, we try to work with as many local communities. So in terms of sourcing our materials, the cloth is locally woven in Albay, for example. We tap components from artisans in Cebu, artisans around the country. So as much as possible, what we're really producing is a truly Filipino product. So we work with a community in Albay. They do some local weaves, especially for jute. So this is woven by a community of artisan weavers there. And then it's put together by them at home. So up to the pom-poms, the tassel, even our zipper, everything sourced locally. And a lot of it actually made by them and put together by them. So while they work on their products, I'm working on the side, finding outlets to sell, finding more ways for people to find out about what we do. And I'm thankful that they're patient in waiting for our business to grow, because as we grow, they grow with us.
Igit na ano yung cords, ihate, and igit na.
Whether or not the product gets sold, they get paid already. So I think the burden is more on me to be able to market it and push their products to the market. And in the beginning, it was very difficult to convince resorts and stores to introduce a product like ours, because at the time, there weren't as many social enterprises. People didn't really know what a social enterprise was. And so we really had to knock on a lot of doors and say, hello, this is what we do. We would like to be available in your establishment. Obviously, you come in with a lot of hopes of being able to help these mothers, because a lot of the needs of their families are dependent on them, especially in raising them, because a lot of them are also single mothers. And you come in thinking that you're going to be an empowering force, but I think what I didn't expect was also the impact it would have on me. I would always get surprised in the beginning, because I found that it seemed that the less people had, the more they gave. Every Christmas party, what we like to do is we make it a point for all of us to just spend time together as a livelihood program. We always started with a prayer. We kind of summarized what the year was like for everyone, how difficult it was. We acknowledge all the blessings our livelihood program received that year. And we each say something we're really thankful about. So I always start by being thankful for the hardworking nanays of our livelihood program, for their patience with me, because I always remind them we're a growing business. And so there are a lot of bumps in the road, or sometimes the demand isn't always there. So we have to keep innovating and reinventing our products. And it always touches me because they're also thankful for the family of our livelihood program. There are so many lines drawn that seem to be keeping us apart and making us feel like we're all so different. But at the end of the day, we are all Filipinos. They have the same dreams that our mothers have had for us. So that's really to have better for their kids, better for their families, have good jobs, and to have good families of their own. We all want to try to help, but sometimes it seems like a really overwhelming task to take on because there's so many problems within the community. I realized that we don't have to necessarily tackle all the issues in the community. We could zero in on one and we can work on that. We don't have to help every community, but we can start with our own. We don't have to help everyone in that community, but we could start with a small group of mothers. There isn't really a specific point where we feel like our job is done. I think I'll do this for as long as I can. As long as our family is growing, our livelihood program family is growing. As long as we keep pushing that finish line further, then we can continue to do our work.